It's 2022 September. Driving down the Sunol Regional Wilderness. Driving down Welch Creek Road. Heading towards Calaveras Road in Sunol. Road is a 4-mile road that goes through the Sunol Regional Wilderness, past a few residential properties / ranchers. So right now we're in the ranch land. What used to be cattle ranches that have been converted to 20+ acre mini ranches with residences in them. So it's a 1-lane road that narrowly goes through the canyon. Descends about 2,000 feet. Occasionally, maybe once or twice a year, it will snow at this elevation, which is about 2,200, 2,300 feet elevation. And yes, we're passing again. Past a few mini ranches / residences. Some of them have cattle, a few, 1 or 2. Some of them have horses. Some of them have goats, pigs, a few farm animals. Not too much agriculture in this area because the land is very rocky. But definitely spacious for the Bay Area. This is part of the East Bay, which includes the major cities of Oakland, Fremont, Alameda, Pleasanton, Dublin, etc. So now we are exiting the private road and entering the Sunol Regional Wilderness. So now this is officially the Sunol Regional Wilderness. Probably another 3 miles through this road, down the hill through the narrow road. During the winter a tree can sometimes fall over. It can have mudslides that cover part of the road, but it's generally speaking quite well maintained. These days, because of the drought, there is more risk of trees falling even outside of the winter season. But again, still pretty well maintained. Usually within a day, the park crew or their contractors will come and clear out the road. One, because it's a park, and 2, because it also leads to residences, some of which are elderly people. So it needs to be maintained. So you see some trees that have fallen and they've cut it up and put it on the side. There's some places to park your car and go hiking. permit in order to park in this area. I believe the permit is only needed for weekends. Whoops. And this is sometimes we run into this problem where we have to go deal with oncoming traffic. And when this happens, you basically have to be smart and just reverse your car and allow the people in front of you to pass. Otherwise, they won't be, especially on a narrow road. Usually there's enough space, but this is a big car that's coming in front of me. And so I will reverse and let him go by. Alright, so that's one of the hazards, if you will, of living in this area, is that you do have to deal with that kind of traffic situation. It's not the conventional traffic that we speak of, but it is more of this kind of navigating through the road and making sure that you are aware of what's in front of you and all the side roads that you can take in order to safely pass another vehicle. And to be honest, this road is big in the sense that two cars can pass through. It's just not a normal size road, so you cannot obviously go 50, 60 miles an hour. You could probably go 15, 20 miles an hour in some stretches, and 10 to 15 in others. But once you get used to the road, it's not too bad. At night, of course, that makes visibility even less. Therefore, you have to be even more careful. You see the lights of another car coming, and you see a place you can pull over, let the car go. Don't get too close to the car because you won't be able to reverse back because you cannot see back. Now, yes, some cars have fancy radar systems that allow you to see at night, but you don't want to risk falling over the cliff just because you didn't plan for that car passing you. So there's cattle crossings along the way, 3 or 4 of them. And what that does is basically divides the land into chunks so that the Regional Wilderness Park, part of the East Bay Regional Wilderness, they can rent out the land to cattle ranchers. And it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. The cattle ranchers will come and bring their cattle, let them graze here for half a year, 8 months, 6 months, and they get basically free food and water for their cattle. They don't have to supplement their feed, and they're free range, so they eat the grass, they eat the leaves and the tree leaves and whatever else brush that's out there. And it's mutually beneficial for the park as well, because in exchange the park will naturally have the vegetation, the low-hanging vegetation, be eaten, and therefore it creates less of a fire hazard for the area. This area is bordering some prime real estate. Prime real estate meaning parts of the Silicon Valley and San Francisco Bay Area are within a couple of miles away. So if fires come here, then they can spread into the Bay Area, which is once again a very expensive area for real estate and for the economy. Silicon Valley produces maybe 20-25% of the economy for the nation these days. So, it can't burn down overnight without severe consequences for the entire nation. So therefore, anything to do to protect the wilderness that prevents wildfires that will eventually get to the Bay Area will need to be stopped. This area also provides water for San Francisco. So past this area, water is collected and sent through huge underground tunnels or pipes, which is the size of a tunnel because even a car or a truck can go through them. But anyway, the water is sent all the way to San Francisco, which is maybe 30 miles away. So it's a huge water aqueduct system that sends water that is all the way to San Francisco. So now we're exiting the park area. This is the end of the Sonoma Regional Wilderness, and at the end of this road is a T-junction, which is the intersection of Calaveras Road and Welch Creek Road. If I make a left, I go through another huge canyon, windy road, all the way to Milpitas and San Jose. If I go right, in another 4 miles, I will get to the freeway. There's some cows over there.